That's my dad.
All right, my boy, we here, man. We locked in, man. We finally was able to
good,
link
my
up,
nigga?
you know what I mean? Do the damn thing and everything
Word.
like that. Joe Pro 973 here. You know, I'm back with another situation. We lit. This is Uncontrolled Substance TV, and today I got one of my oldest childhood friends, my homie Mike G. You know what I mean? Everybody, y'all give him a warm welcome and things like that, man. But I'm not even going to delay this thing any further. We gonna get right into it, man. How you doing, bro?
Maintain it, bro.
That's what's up, man. That's what's
life, you
up,
know?
man. 1000%. I'm glad that we actually could finally make this connection.
I've been searching for this.
Yeah,
Good energy, yo.
1000%.
Good energy.
And you know, throughout the course of life, you know, as we start to get older, you know, like I said in the beginning, like, you know, you one of my earliest childhood friends, and we may not see each other that often throughout the years while everybody is manipulating. Partially, you know, I take responsibility for a lot of that because
that's fatherhood, bro.
Yeah, I could.
That's fatherhood, man. Ain't nothing else matter. You know what
It
I'm talking about?
is, but I still feel like you got to show up for your friends, and that's really important. And that's really important. But you know, other than that, man.
Cheers, bro. Let's start this off by that. You know what I mean? Happy New Year and all
you know
of
what I
that.
mean? Happy New Year to you. It's 2025. We in the mix, and you know, we both alive. We got our, you know, our health. You know, we both got gainful employment, and so that's just what the business is, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
man.
1000%. So, I want to start a little bit with your journey. I moved and started at Mount Vernon when I believe I was in the 3rd grade, but you were previously already there. Was that your first elementary school that you went to, or?
So it's crazy because you know I'm a Hooterville nigga. You know what I mean?
Through and through, 1000%.
So I represent Newark, New Jersey all day. However, I was born in Patterson.
Okay.
Came to Mount Vernon. Shout out to Mount Vernon.
Shout out to Mount Vernon.
That groomed all of us.
And I don't know if y'all can see this right now. We at the G spot. You know, this is homie's spot,
base,
and this is you know what I mean, a really beautiful location.
I appreciate it.
I give
bro.
all the credit to brother right here because he did his thing. But in the background, we got the Mount Vernon Lions basketball jersey. This guy's a historian. Like, he don't let nothing go. So for him to have that jersey in the background, that is.
Yo, you know that's actually a practice jersey.
Okay.
That was a shoot. Mr. Wildhat gave us that like on a shooting shirt. Like,
okay.
I don't know if only the captains had it or the whole team had it, but we had our nicknames.
Well, you know I didn't have one of them things. Either way it went, because I was ass in school. But
man, you made the team, bro. You made the team.
Yeah, I made the team, but you know.
But yeah, I came to Mount Vernon, man, 1988, bro.
Okay.
1988, man.
That's
October 98, 3rd grade. And the funny shit was, so when we moved from Patterson to Newark, my mother ain't know it was Newark. She thought the shit just was Velsburg, New Jersey. That's how they screamed it, Velsburg, New Jersey. Man,
them damn real estate agents.
Word is bomb. So October 88, man, like 3 weeks later, day before Halloween, they stole my mother's car, yo.
Wow. That's
day before
crazy.
Halloween, she had a Pontiac 6000, man. Somebody run the door about like, yo, y'all had a car out there? Gone.
Yo, that's a hell of an introduction to the Hooterville.
Absolutely. That was an introduction to Newark, New Jersey, brother, man, 1988.
Wow.
Word. So, yeah, man, went to Mount Vernon, 3rd grade, 88. Had 2 older brothers. We all 8 years apart, so my oldest brother went to West Side immediately.
Okay.
And then I grinded through Mount Vernon, man.
Yeah, and so I want to speak a little bit about those days in Mount Vernon because, you know, like I was alluding to being funny, but so I wasn't, you know, the most athletic kid. I did try out for certain teams and everything like that. So I did play baseball. I played basketball a bit, and I did have a couple of things going on. But I will say that you were very, very athletic. And so what kind of started that drive? I know you had the older brothers. Was it them pushing you?
It wasn't them pushing me at all. So I remember when I was younger, like kindergarten, even from kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, everybody want to race me. You know what I mean? Niggas get new sneakers coming to school, like I could beat you in running now, and I smoke them. So I was always fast. I knew that part.
Okay.
Get to Mount Vernon now, it was different because the school I came from in Patterson, it was like kindergarten through 3rd.
Okay, so there was no opportunity for you to be on the teams or anything at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't none of that. So when I get to Mount Vernon now, that's kindergarten through 8th.
Okay.
So you seeing everything, age groups or whatever, older kids or whatever. So just being on the playground at Mount Vernon is where I honed everything at.
Exactly.
I got
they
introduced.
Had the courts, the free fall.
I got introduced to free fall immediately, and I became a beast.
He was the free fall champ.
Word up.
6 years straight. Like.
Word. So, and there was a lot of other kids, you know what I mean, that was, fast and athletic. And then I learned how to flip.
Okay.
So that was the thing. So going back, let's talk about Mount Vernon. Mustafa, man. Rest in peace to
Rest
Moo.
in peace to the brother, man.
Moo was like a real legend that early. I'm talking about this nigga was in the 4th, 5th grade, and I'm watching him afar, like, you know what I mean? So he had like the elements, I would say like the 3 elements that everybody kind of wanted to do.
So what's the 3 elements?
You had to know how to fight.
Had to know how to fight, yeah.
You had to know, you ain't had to know, but you was cool if you know how to play ball or know how to flip.
Yeah. So some sort of athletic capability.
Oh yeah.
You had to have something.
Yeah. And you wanted to get them girls.
Yeah. So,
you see what I'm saying?
So Moo, he had all 3.
Moo had all 3. So we watching him from afar. And then I just athletically it just came naturally.
Yeah, okay.
Bit, you know what I mean? Just playing ball on the playgrounds at lunchtime and you competing against.
Okay. And so as far as with your basketball career, because like you said, there were people who were above us in grade, like Damien, who we eventually went, we followed him and went to Newark Tech with also. But there were also younger classmates who was below us, like the Taz of the world, the Arkames. Some younger classmates who was actually kind of good too in that situation. So like you battling through the ranks, is that where you was like, okay, I'm gonna be the point guard, or?
So you figure, we had Tyrone Barley. Shout out to Tyrone Barley.
Shout out to Tyrone.
Shout out to my man Roddy Raj. So
exactly. Shout out to Roddy.
Yeah. Shout out to Derek. So we had like going into that 8th grade year. It was the 3. It was supposed to be like me, Ron, Derek.
Yeah, like a big 3.
Like a big 3, real quick or whatever. You know what I mean?
Big 3, and this was this was 94. So hold on now, y'all got to get a credit to somebody over here from Jersey because we innovators out here.
Word. So it was fun, man. Just playing ball with everybody, man. I just had to drive, man. I just wanted to outwork everybody. I wasn't the best, but I tried to be.
Yeah,
You know
I mean, and from the outside looking in. Like I said, I was into some other things too, cause shoot, I felt like I was on a debate team and everything. So it just wasn't kind of like sports with me. But as from an outsider looking in, I didn't play all of my years throughout school, but you definitely was putting up numbers. I can say that.
Yeah. You talking about in high school or
in high school and in elementary school? You was putting up numbers.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And so I guess also like playing in the parks, maybe like I don't know if you played in any of the AAU squads and circles.
That's what I kind of missed out on.
Okay.
So once again, if I'm saluting anybody, Dane Watkins, man, he was the one for me. You know what I mean? Okay. In the Hooterville, he was the one I looked up to. Yeah. So I seen his jumping ability, I seen his speed, I seen his court vision. He could shoot fancy passes.
1000%.
So I owe a lot to him. And then I just try to make a name for myself, my own self.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So. I ain't back down from nobody.
Yeah,
you know
no challenges.
I mean?
Like you was always ready to step up to that challenge. And so what went into that decision? Because so we had a Mount Vernon practice jersey over here, but we also have the Newark Tech jersey behind us. So what went into that decision of you saying, all right, I want to go to Newark Tech?
So, of course, West Side was the district.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The funny shit, real talk, one of the reasons why I didn't go to West Side, my man Murder. Word up.
Okay.
My man used to come home every day. He graduated a year before. He older than me. So Murder used to be like, yo, West Side fun as hell. We could leave whenever we want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
On some, because they pulling a fire drill and they
getting up out of there. Now they doing
now they at Newark Tech, about where the bitches at. What are you talking about? They at school where you just left.
Yeah,
I ain't going there. Word up.
So that is
so real talk, I felt as though West Side probably wasn't the right place for me at that time.
Environment-wise.
You know what I mean? Environment-wise. I wasn't scared of it at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you kind of know, and that's really good because early on you had a vision for your life and the things that you wanted to do and the steps that you wanted to take and how you was going to get there. So that was, that was really mature of you to make a conscious decision at that age to be like, nah, I want to go somewhere where a little bit more structured.
It's funny because a lot of parents I know, like they just wouldn't send their child to certain schools for whatever reason. They let it be known. my mother wasn't really even on it like that.
Yeah.
She ain't know nothing.
So
If I'd have told her I was going to West Side, that's what
Exactly.
because that report card, that transcript was going over there automatically
1000,
if you ain't
yeah.
go nowhere else. I ain't want to go to Essex Catholic with all the boys. I ain't want to go to Benedict's with all the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? St. Anthony's was a whole nother thing, just trying to catch that train over
Okay.
there because that would have been the goal
Yeah.
for me to go to St. Anthony's. So I just followed Dame Watkins, man, and went to Newark Tech.
Yeah, so that's a really good point because back in the day, Dame, and you just brought back some memories. Like he wasn't like the biggest stature dude, but he was jumping out of the park.
Yes.
And so
you know the funny thing, when you talk about certain things like that, when we used to walk from Ivy Hill Park coming down the hill, because you figure, once again, we could put this on record too, because
Yeah.
a lot of times, you know, we all from the Hooterville. See what I'm saying? But you got Ivy Hill when you got down the hill for whatever
exactly.
reason. And
That
I guess
style,
Sanford
it's
is
like
like
the
the
middle
cutoff.
ground,
You see what I'm saying? So anything above Sanford, you are Ivy Hill nigga.
Yeah.
Any side streets, anything else down there, we consider we was Stuyvesant niggas.
Exactly.
So, but I played ball everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's times coming home from Ivy Hill Park, and we just walking home down Mount Vernon, down Ivy, whatever. Dane Watkins had to motherfucking try to touch every street
Everything
sign.
you could touch.
Every stop sign, every street sign. He was just jumping to see if he could touch the shit.
Yeah.
And then I start doing it. You know what I mean? And it was just testing your ups.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and if you he ain't work out on his legs or nothing. He just, you know, it was just natural. So, you know what I mean?
And so back in the day, because you remember everybody used to have like the up shoes that kind of like worked on your calves and stuff like that to get your little shoes stronger. I don't even see those no more.
Nah, I had some of them shit.
Yeah.
Strip shoes.
Strip shoes, exactly.
Used to order them shits out of East Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
so I remember going to Newark Tech, like I had to take a test, but you was like a serious athlete. And so were you kind of like recruited by, the coach was Mr. Harrison back then at that point in
it wasn't
time?
Harris at the time. He was Harris. Harris helped recruit me too, but
Okay.
Harris was the JV coach. Mr. Gary was.
Mr. Gary, Mr. G,
Mr. Gary. But I didn't get a chance to even play for Gary because he retired. After my first year.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
So they was instrumental in recruiting you, but did you have to go through like the test taking aspect? So everybody, all the students had to do that?
You definitely had to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so Newark Tech was kind of like, I feel like that freshman year, it was really dope because like they had the exploratory. So like if you wanted to learn how to do carpentry or electrician or this, that, and the third, what shop did you wind up settling on when you wind up actually?
Business.
Oh, so you did business as well.
Business. Yeah, I did business. I ain't get shit out of it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like,
no, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You know what I did get out of it?
What's that?
To know how to type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had that keyboard on one, and I was getting 40 words plus a minute easy. I still, you know what I mean? That shit helped out a lot. So
yeah, I definitely can remember
later
that.
on in my career and life,
Okay.
it helped out.
And so that helped out when you
report
was
writing
doing
and all. Yeah, because when
1000.
everybody else was on some
one finger
shit, I got my shit on the home. Bah, 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 you know what I mean?
Exactly. So you was able to get those reports in and get up out of there while your coworkers, they might have been still with the one type thing. But so how was that experience and that transition from going to Mount Vernon and then going to Newark Tech?
Newark Tech, I mean, Mount Vernon a home base, right? The thing about Mount Vernon, man, we had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? As far as different nationalities and from Polish to
It
Indian,
definitely was a melting
Haitian.
pot.
It was a melting pot for a lot of shit. And Newark Tech was kind of like the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Newark Tech was just, of course, now playing basketball. Now you really see what you up against. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because at Mount Vernon, it's just 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. But then when you get to high school, everybody in the gym at the same time.
Exactly.
So, you know, I remember going there my freshman year, and I seen, you know, the product was on the floor. And I knew I could compete immediately.
So you didn't feel like you was out of sorts, like looking at these other guys and looking at these other competitors, whether what school they was from. It was like, if you give us the rock and you give me the opportunity, like we could bring it to these cats.
Well, so you see that immediately. Like, you know, when you first get there and they had these little open gyms and they put all the freshmen over there and the sophomore, and, you know, I kind of stood out as far as on the freshmen.
Okay, yeah.
But I wanted some of that sophomore work too, and them juniors and them seniors. You know what I mean? So That's
because still sharp is still, and if you're going against
Absolutely.
some of the best cats, inevitably it's just going to lift your game up and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that whole area, because I felt like I tried out for freshman, I didn't make that team, but just like being in that realm of the sports, it just. Yeah, did you feel like at that point in time, like you was going to do something with your athletics? Did you feel like it was going to get you like a scholarship?
Oh,
was
absolutely.
D1 on your mind?
Of course, immediately. You know what I mean? But once again, that's without playing AAU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just, okay, my first year, you figure, I'm a starting point guard. I'm the captain of the team. You know what I mean? And you getting busy.
And so would you like, what would you say to like those that's coming after us if like, your wish is to play basketball at a higher level? Nowadays they got the NIL deals, so you don't even necessarily have to go to the league. Back then, our way out was either you was probably gonna go to the league or you was gonna go overseas.
It was just, back then, it was just so different. You know what I mean? It was so much people that had talent that didn't have it academically. They couldn't qualify for the SATs. The SATs was big back then.
It was.
The play back in our day, you at least needed to have a 820 on the SATs with a 2.5 great GPA in order to play D1.
Okay.
And then if you didn't have the 820, every 10th of a point you needed, like
to be higher.
Yeah, like if you had an 810 on the SATs, you at least needed to have a 3.0 GPA or whatever. So it was different. So, that was why a lot of kids went to junior colleges to get their grades up or whatever. And AAU helped out a lot as far as traveling.
And so, yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. So would you definitely suggest that a young athlete nowadays get into those AAU circuits to hone their craft?
Honestly, I'm even not to hone your craft, but excuse me, I can't even answer that really talk, because there's so much going on out here now. You know what I mean? It was a different route when I was coming up. It was just more so you got your name from going to this park, that park.
Yeah, people knew who you were.
Yeah,
kinda.
it just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just did it like that. But if I could do it all over again, I definitely would have played AAU.
Yeah.
And the only advice I could give, you gotta live, eat, and sleep this shit.
Yeah, if you really want it.
If you really want it.
It's consistency. It's that aspect of it, because if you want to get successful at something, you have to put those 1,000 hours into it. That's just like the only way. That's the key. You got to put those 1,000 hours to it. I like to refer to, it's like a slogan that I heard, is like time on task. Like when you're doing what you want to get good at, you're going to get better inevitably, but you have to put in that consistency, that dedication.
Absolutely.
And so, that's a really good point.
Yeah. And I felt like I had the work ethic.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know what I mean? Like, I used to wake up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and go jogging, and you know what I mean? So I always try to be in top shape. That was my biggest thing.
Yeah,
So
because if it
110%.
wasn't the work ethic, it's just maybe like the guidance of maybe an older individual to be like, okay, Mike, these are the things that you need to try to do now, or maybe you could put yourself here or put yourself there.
But you know the funny shit about it, Joe? Like, without playing professionally, and it still was just life.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it was dudes on Stuyvesant that left me alone because they knew I played ball. You see what I'm saying? Like OG cats, like, just see me dribbling the ball. Like, you don't need to be out here, you know what I mean, on the strength of that. And that's just life lessons. Then that's just basketball and being committed to something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as, you get popular and shit like that.
I definitely feel like that's a good point, because I don't know if they have that presence.
So I could tell you same thing. If some of my dudes, they wanted to get into some young juvenile shit, ring my door, like, yo, let's go do this. I'm like, yo, I got a game tomorrow, bro. You see what I'm saying? I got, you know what I mean?
So it kept you focused.
It's kept me focused. It became
out of trouble.
It was like my excuse, my crutch to be like, if I say this, I know they gonna, you know what I mean?
They gonna take that at face value.
Absolutely.
Like,
I ain't missing this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000%.
So,
and so, like, it was more aspects to, our high school than just only the basketball. Like, what was high school for you other than that, though? Because you know what I mean, you played ball, obviously, but what was some of the aspects other than the ball?
High school was great, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I could go back, I definitely would go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just you figure, bro, when we was in high school, we seen and heard Tupac getting killed.
Yeah.
And Biggie and the East Coast, West Coast shit.
Yeah.
And just being in the skating rink. Like, we had the best music, just our era in high school, from 94 to 98.
94 to 98.
Them years was critical.
Critical,
You know what I
For the
mean?
music
So,
game. That was kind of what a lot of people consider the golden era and stuff like that.
Word. So that
And so, damn, you took me back. Even the aspect of going to the skating ring, you know what I mean? Whether it be 22 or Branch Brook.
and those was obstacles and journeys and shit that we had to get through.
Yeah, because it definitely was little shit popping off.
Always,
you know?
you know what I'm saying? So that's what the Hooterville.
Like, damn, bro, why you messing with me, man? I'm just trying to holler at Shorty and shit. Now the whole crew clashing, like,
You know what I mean? And it was just like, that shit built us, yo.
Exactly.
Just being in a Hooterville, like, yo, bro, we used to just be chilling on somebody's steps and just be like, stick up, and just take off. And it ain't, we just keeping everybody alert, like, yo, you gotta be on top of your toes because stick up kids was really when you had to be on top of your shit.
That is one thing, and you know, being in both parts of it, so like I saw how people from down the hill, they kind of looked at up the hill as like a target or something, and they kind of like went up there kind of like shopping or like the stick up type of shit, but not knowing that, you know, it was cats up there that'll really bust your ass and shit. Like, so you coming up there thinking you about to do this and do that, and you fucking around leave with some hot shit in your ass. But
the misconception of all of that was because Seton Hall University was right there. You see what I'm saying? On the other side of the fence, Ivy Hill Park.
Exactly.
We used to jump the motherfucking fence and be up
Get
on that
chased
camp,
around by
chased all
security.
type of shit, just for fun.
Exactly. Just
like, that's
for
what you
fun.
say. Like, just to have fun, like, let's go get chased. Like, who the fuck does that? But us.
Yo, let's go get chased. I can hear somebody
chased.
saying, let's go do that right now.
Let's get it chased,
and my
bro.
stupid self was like, come on, let's go. And I'm the slowest one and shit. But
that shit sharpened shit for me. You know what I mean?
It did.
All the manhunts and the hide and seeks and all of that.
And that's what I will say, because, you know, I be talking to the missus, and not only her, but you kind of see, like, there's this thing about not wanting to let the kids walk to school by themselves, you know, kind of like being everything sheltered and just like protected. But like you said, when we was younger and we was out doing stuff, it's not that we was just doing stuff to be mischievous, but that stuff kind of grew us up, and we learned, okay, I can't go in that backyard. There may be a dog back there. Or if, like you said, this car coming and looking shady, like it gave us a sense of awareness for the world.
Yes, absolutely. That shit made us who we are, bro.
Yeah.
And they don't got none of that.
Yes.
They locked in. These kids be on their phone and walk into a fucking tree because they so locked into the bullshit.
Exactly.
So they don't have no street smarts. They don't got no self-awareness. And it's for us parents to help them through that, but
yeah, because I do think that there is something in, well, I'm a parent and I want to like help my kid through this, but there is really something too, like, nah, you got to kind of let them trip a little bit.
Yo, the moment you let them out your door in the morning to go to school, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You ain't got no control over them that whole day. You just hope some of the shit you instilled in them, they able to, you know,
exactly,
make it
be
work
able to
for 'em.
use that
Absolutely.
and use the right, you know, decision making. And that's what I kind of always, I looked at my parents, you know, I was raised by my cousin and his wife. I look at them as mom and dad, but they always instilled these things to me. And even though when I lost my path, I was able to go back to that foundation.
Absolutely.
Like I just wasn't, like I was outside and I was hustling, I did this, I did that, but I just wasn't like doing the bullshit just for the sake of the bullshit, because they raised me with those morals. And I was able to get out here and learn a couple little things. So it was kind of easy to transition back into like, all right, man, be a productive member. Like, you know what I mean? Do this, do that. But yeah, that's really, really important that I think is kind of missing a little bit from the kids nowadays, though.
Absolutely. That shit molded us, man. You know what I mean? But like you said, going back to Skate 22, those was like, you know, that was a journey sometimes. You know what I mean? You really just, you know what I mean? You got your pen, you try to get some numbers. You know what I'm talking about?
They took it back to the pen, because I
gone.
remember having a pen,
Having that pen,
any little
bruh.
piece of paper, and then because we ain't had these, we ain't had an iPhone where you can say,
you gotta write this shit in your hand and hope your shit, you don't sweat the number off by the time
exactly,
you get home. Or I had about 4 or 5 pieces of little paper and you take your chance, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was great, man. That was fun as hell. I love that shit.
Yeah, that was the life. I do want to take it back a little bit because even speaking of the Skate 22 era and all of that stuff, so when we was younger, like, and so I was living on Richelieu back in the day, and like you said, like anything, it was like a Mason-Dixon line, kind of like, so anything above Sanford was considered the Ivy Hill area. Anything below was the Stuyvesant. It was like, what was it, like a little song? They had made a club song back in the day and everything. Go Stop, Booty Ass Hill, some shit like that or whatever. But long story short, you had the DJs that was on your block. So it was Jag and Khalif, and they used to throw the house parties.
Yeah, we came up with that, man. That was big. That was big. That was good times. You know what I mean? And that was just
official.
like, yo, you know, shout out to my brothers Jag and K, man, Leon, and everybody.
Yeah, shout out
man.
Leon, all the whole crew.
That's how. So what happened was, my man Fleming used to DJ. Fleming lived on Unity. He had a little DJ equipment, and he ended up teaching Khalif. And then just brainstorming one day. We might have just finished shoveling snow in the basement, counting our little money, and we like, yo, we should have a party, yo. You know what I mean? In a little ass basement, bro.
And that's literally how it just kicked
started,
off?
just like that, man. We fucking made some little flyers, made copies of them, passed that shit out in school. I think we charged what? Girls $1 and dudes $2 or some shit like that.
I really remember, like, that was the highlight of my weekends back then, because
that little ass hot box basement,
the basement was probably definitely smaller than this, but I remember they had the little DJ shit over there in the corner, and I was a young man, young kid, but I was able to dance with some girls, hop on some ass.
Absolutely.
Like,
that's when they give it up. The give it up and the giddy up is going crazy. Mad Cobra Flex is going crazy right now. You see what I'm saying?
Boom, bye, bye.
Oh my gosh, what?
So
word up. So somebody, girl, you know what I mean? Yo, I done lost some girlfriends in that basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely was that era.
Word is born. I remember messing with this Ivy Hill chick. Word is born, fucking with her.
Yeah.
She in the corner tongue kissing some other nigga. You know what I mean? I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Learn early. You know what I mean? Learn early.
Learn early, like, hold up, man.
Yeah, that's how I go, huh?
1000%. Yeah, but that was a really, really fun era that, you know, I think back to sometimes, and, you know, I'm kind of like all over the place with this, but Jersey is kind of like the clubs, like the club music capital. I know it's a lot of other cities, like Baltimore try to claim that, Chicago try to claim that as well. But I mean, I wasn't from them places. I'm from Jersey, and Jersey, since I was younger, with the clubs like the Club 88 and like the Peppermint Lounge, like stuff that I was too small to get into.
We had just missed that.
Yeah.
Just missed
like,
that era. Like
club in New Jersey was the thing, and so that era was really, really dope. Like,
absolutely, absolutely.
All of the music,
and that's what I'm saying. Going back to Skate 22 days, like we needed that.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Robert Tree Hotel days. You see what I'm
Robert
saying?
Tree Hotel.
Like yo, the crazy shit. Like, remember Akinelli put it in your mouth? We heard that when that shit paused, when that shit rung off. And 22, yo, this shit was crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so that was the music. That's what we was up against.
Yeah,
you know
that was definitely that era. And I was also speaking to someone, first, you know, the missus, and an interview that I just did recently, that should be out right now on YouTube, Uncontrolled Substance TV. You could check that out with the homegirl, Miss Devon. She was saying that she think that there's a lack of men hunting women. But when we was younger, that's kind of like what we did, like in those eras. It was like, yo, like your man might tap you, like, yo, get her, she looking at you, or something like that. And it kind of like enticed us. Like, some people ain't need like nobody to put the battery in their back, but like some of us needed that battery, but it still got us off of our quiet little square to go up and approach this woman or approach this lady, this group of friends. And now, you know, us being from up the hill, we was catching buses going to other places now because we done met a group of girls that was over here. Absolutely. And all of that stuff just added to the learning and just the fun in the childhood aspect.
Yeah, those was great times, man. That was great times, you know what I mean? I done got into so much shit. Yeah, I remember, this crazy as hell. I'm telling this story, but I remember, like, somebody used, like, back in the day, you know, you had the call ID. No, before call ID, like star 69.
Woo,
You had the call waiting or the three ways and all that type of shit. So, but sometimes girls used to like call my house, like, and had a wrong number.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be like somebody called and they for the wrong number, and I'll be like, they be like, you sound good.
Oh.
And next thing you know, you kicking it with somebody like on some stranger shit.
Exactly.
Nigga, I done took some chances, bro.
Yeah.
Like on some bullshit. Could have got set up, robbed, all type of shit.
Yeah.
I remember one time this chick, same shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucking called my house on some wrong number shit. She like, what's sound? And now we talking. She live in Georgia King motherfucking Village.
Oh, yeah?
I drive down there. I gotta walk past all of these.
Oh, man.
All of these niggas to get on
the whole squad is right
everybody
there.
outside. You know what I mean? Like, just taking a chance.
Yeah.
Get there, she look like shit. I'm like, yo, what the See what I'm saying? I was catfish before it was catfish, huh?
So let me ask you this question, though. So you put all of that energy and effort into it, even though back then we didn't see it as that, but, you know, as you older from a grown mind state now, you put that energy and effort to it. You went down there and she looked at, you know, she was probably
because
a
it
3.
wasn't no social media, was none of that.
But however, did you seal the deal? Like, all right, fuck it, I'm here. Just give me some.
Hell no.
You said, fuck that, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. See what I'm saying? Fuck you.
Okay.
I got to worry about getting past these niggas that's still outside that I remember. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I ain't trying to get too comfortable with this place.
Nah.
And you ain't even looking like nothing. Like,
Word,
nice to meet you,
those,
baby, but I'm
those
gone.
Those the chances, you know, you took as a young teenage man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Newark nigga, but, you know.
But, you know, like you said, I feel like that was the stuff and that was the era that got us up. And so after Newark Tech, you transitioned, you went to what, Felician College?
I went to Felician.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And so, not to cut you off, but like during that time, I initially went to Jersey City University. I went there for a semester and then I didn't continue after that. But how was your college experience?
College experience, man. I mean, it grew me up. I grew up real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say it was, I mean, I'm still connected with a lot of brothers that I played ball with there. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man G and Sewell and Bam, and you know what I mean? I met a lot of good people.
Okay.
But it ain't turned out how I wanted. If I could do it back, I probably would have went to HBCU.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And so what was the part that kind of like didn't line up with your expectations?
It just wasn't the atmosphere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a small school, Catholic school, dry campus. You know what I mean? It's not like you had to worry about, like, I can't even have a bail, I'm gonna get in trouble type shit, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, you know, but I ended up, I got into some shit up there.
Okay,
You know what I mean? Got up, so I didn't finish. I did 3 years.
Okay. So you was right there at the finish line.
Nah, not even, I wouldn't even say that. So at the end of the day, I played ball for them 2 years.
Okay.
I stayed 3, but I only had 2 years of work done. You know what I mean? I was bullshit.
Oh,
and not really
okay.
taking the college as
Like
serious,
serious, yeah.
as I should have. You know what I mean?
Because with college and a lot of people, it's like a culture shock. And that's kind of what happened to me because like I was real smart in school. That's one thing that I definitely used to hang my hat on. But I felt like I didn't have the discipline. And that's why I only lasted a semester because they're not going to be like, okay, Joe, go to class.
No, here's your syllabus.
This work is
here's
done.
Your syllabus for the whole semester. You know what you got to get done and what's what, and that's it.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean?
And so that was kind of like my downfall. Would you say like some of those same things was like kind of like the reason why you weren't able to finish?
I think just being away from home on them dorms immediately.
Yeah.
You know, you don't got your parents in your ear and you just meeting people from all over and it's just like, let's have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gonna go to school, but it was just it was a different scenario for me though, man. You know what I mean? But it also molded me into the man I am today.
Okay.
And no regrets.
And but like you said, and throughout the years, I have seen, through social media that you have kept in contact and connection with a lot of those dudes that you was playing on the team with and stuff like that. And so that's something like a lifelong friend. It's invaluable.
That's basketball, man.
Yeah.
That's
So it circles back to the basketball
Absolutely,
aspect.
go back to the basketball. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's a brotherhood. It's like, rest in peace to my man Glenn Davis, who just passed away.
Okay.
It was an honor to go to his wake a couple weeks ago and just seeing the basketball community.
Yeah, everybody come out for him.
Everybody who played against him or played with him, and you know what I mean. And it's just like
it's that mutual respect.
Absolutely, man. You know what I mean.
When you
and
put it all on the line and you compete against a man and you kind of like,
regardless of the accolades.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Regardless of. I wasn't no all-state. I wasn't all of this, none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was respected.
Because you was dedicated, you showed up every day, and it wasn't going to be no easy out. Even if a team beat us because they were probably more talented, they know that, this guy right here.
I tried.
Like, you know what I mean?
But like I said, Glenn Davis, man, rest in peace to him. It was just dope seeing that brotherhood. Once again, you seeing people from, I'm saying dudes that I played against 30 years ago. You know what I mean? They grown now, and it's just, so that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I told my mother if I passed before her, like at my funeral, I want motherfuckers to sign, everybody I played with or played against, like sign that basketball. You know what I mean? Autograph that, throw that in the casket with a nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how deep I am.
That's how
with
much with the basketball it kind of like runs deep.
Absolutely.
But like I also know that basketball is one of the things that you hold near and dear to your heart, but rapping also is. And so is it 1A and 1B, or is it one of them that takes a little bit more for you?
The music, I love music. Everybody love music. As far as recording it and doing it, basketball my first love.
Yeah, okay.
Don't let no chick tell you she was my first love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah. See what I'm saying? Basketball was my first love, man, and music came after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not even, I did music it's like my own poetry. Never looked to be signed to one of the record deal or I know thousands of people that are so much better than me. Yeah. Music wise. You know what I mean?
That you feel like a better than you,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I never really looked at the music like that as far as me doing it personally. Basketball wise, I took that a little bit more personal.
Yeah, you took it to heart.
If he was nice, I want I want some of you. I want to see what you up against. I need to know what I need to work on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I never shied away from the competition as far as that. You know what I mean? I always, like I tell kids now, like in my day, you always heard somebody else was working harder than you, but you just ain't know how hard they was working.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would, mentally tell myself, okay, Khalid from Shabazz, I know he doing like 50 push-ups right now. Let me do 51. You see what I'm saying? Mentally, just to psych myself up, as opposed to now these kids could go to YouTube.
I definitely feel like it's that competitive edge that drives you and pushes you.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Yeah.
But these kids don't have it. Some of them just think they good, and I'm like your son, for example. Like it's like I said, it's so much easier now. They could go to YouTube and type in 11-year-old phenom basketball playing football and see all the drills and shit that they doing, and you can incorporate. You could pick and choose your poison.
And so it's funny that you mentioned my son, and so Javen, he's 8 years old, and I would say at that age, he's 10 times as athletic as I was at that age. He does have my hard-headedness in that I'm trying to influence him to be more coachable. Okay. And I don't know if it's just a nowadays era thing, but he has to be able to realize that he doesn't know it all at this young age of 8. Like, I'm trying to get him to learn that.
All right. So touching on that, right? So let's go back to Mount Vernon with us, right? I think it all depends on the individual, your upbringing, what you up against, what you got going on at home for you to gravitate to certain shit. Yeah. So for me personally, my father wasn't in my life like that on my early years. So when we got a good coach in Mr. Wild, he meant a lot more than to me than a lot of other people. You know what I mean?
I didn't even see it from that perspective.
Absolutely.
Dog. Damn.
So Mr. Wild, if you remember Mr. Wild, we had to wear shirt and ties.
Yeah.
During
Game
you know
day.
What I mean? Game day. And
Yeah.
a lot of people ain't like that shit. They was like, what is going on? But me, I was all for it because it was structure, it was order, everything that I was looking for.
Yeah, some people wasn't even able to play if they didn't wear their shirt and tie.
Absolutely. We lost to Velsburg because, rest in peace, the Quan.
Yeah, Quan. Shout out Quan.
And Rock. Talib didn't wear their fucking shirt and tie that day.
And wasn't able to play.
And Quan was our starting power forward. And we lost. Not saying we probably wouldn't lost regardless, but not to make excuses. That's one thing I hate doing.
Yeah.
We should have still.
But you want to be able to, if they're at their best, you want to be able to go at them when you're at your best.
That was
also.
our only loss this season. We went 8-1 in that division. We lost to Velsburg, Quan, and because Mr. Wild was.
But that's the structure.
That was the structure.
And the accountability.
You feel me? So it's like, it means something for different people. Like your son might not be as coachable as you would like him to be because he probably looking at it like, I got a father at home. I don't got to listen to you, coach. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be a little stubbornness as opposed to if he didn't have you in his life together, he might gravitate more to the coach to be like, you know what? Because he's showing me attention, showing me love. You know what I mean? So
I do feel like he's only 8. And so it's my job to figure that out. You know what I mean? I have to, with the psychological, I have to figure out what buttons to push. And those buttons that we got pushed on us, those not the buttons that work nowadays.
I know.
Your kid will shut down.
Literally.
In this day and age, it's not the way.
My son play basketball right now. At least he like it a little bit. I'm not forcing it on him. But I got my neighbors, is 3 boys, 2 backyards over. So one of them, he always outside shooting.
Yeah.
Rain, sleet, or snow. He's
out there. Okay.
So I used to tell my son, I bring him to the window like, bruh, you see what he doing?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's for you.
It's for you.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to his games in high school because he a lethal shooter, this is why, because he putting in that work right now.
Exactly.
So I do that to light the match or to light the fire, but sometimes that shit don't work and you be like, yo, look at this shit. This is bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Because I felt like if I at least had that, if my brother or my father told me that, like brought me to the window and be like, oh, you think you good? Look at him across the street.
Exactly.
I would have been like, what?
Yeah.
I'm in there.
And that's that switch. It's kind of like, and the crazy part is, so, you know, my sons and I were at a wrestling match and there was this dad, he was there. And this dad, he was talking to the kids and he was saying, you guys are not being good teammates. You know, your teammates are putting their, I ain't gonna say life on the line, but they putting their body on the line. And, you know, like we spoke about earlier off camera, in some of these other schools, they're dedicated to that sport all year round. So they have a technical advantage on some of our kids who only doing this in the off season of football. So the kids they may feel a little some type of way when they lose, because they like, man, I'm going up in here and this boy, like, he clearly not much of an athlete compared to me, but he throwing me around, like he pulling my ankle, he doing this. And like our kids weren't really locked in, cheering their teammates on and things of that nature. And so the mom of the dad who was telling the kids this was like, well, you guys were traumatized because of how y'all were being coached. And I don't think that it was traumatized, but like we just discussed, it's the accountability in the nature of us being able to answer those questions and being able to stand up when our coaches was like, nah, beef. Like, bend your elbows, eyes on the basket, elbows in, follow through. Like, we had to really adhere to those things. But like you said, in this day and age, it's kind of like the kids would rather play Fortnite or Minecraft or something, and they just not really locked in from that competitive part.
Different times. Man. It's different times. You know what I mean? I remember in Newark Tech, we played a school in the state tournament, Belvedere. The moment we walked in that gym, our back was against the fucking wall. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The referees was, you know what I mean? Yo, it was some racist shit going on, you know what I mean? And it was like, if you don't blow them out by 30, you have no shot.
Yeah,
And
because they're going to give them all the calls. They're going to call ticky-tack calls on you.
That was one of the games. That was my junior year in high school, man. I'll never forget that game. I felt like shit coming home.
Yeah.
Like, they really took the game from us because they didn't want us to win that game. They was not letting no inner city kids come
And
to
do you
Belvedere.
know, like, so that's a deep part, right? Because that kind of goes on from then. Like, we can imagine maybe the teams from the 70s that probably used to deal with that.
That I don't even want to mention our little bullshit we went through as, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever they went through in that past
So
word.
they went through that part, then the 80s, then our squads. But do you know that that's kind of also still going on today? Now, wrestling, and I'm not trying to, be racy with it, but wrestling is dominated by whites. Like, it's at their schools, their programs, they have the equipment. They, like I said, they doing it all year. Our schools, I didn't even know there was a wrestling squad. Was there a wrestling squad at any high school that we went to?
St. Benedict's. I mean, some schools had wrestling, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it wasn't prevalent.
I mean, niggas like us, man, we was on some WWF and shit. I had wrestling in my house, you know what I mean? Like, we wrestled, you know what I mean? Like, you had to know how to wrestle and fight, because that, you know what I mean?
But that's another point, though. And so
we ain't look at it as this could be another way out of the hood.
But that's what I'm saying. So let's go back
like
to that, though. Let's go back to that. Of course, we wrestled, like, my older brothers, of course, we wrestled older cousins.
Wrestle pillows.
But it's a difference.
You know what I mean? Pillows I done drop kick.
Because we did the elbow smashes.
All that shit.
Like, I felt like an older cousin might have put me in a DDT or some crazy shit.
Figure 4 leg lock, break your fucking back.
But when you wrestling in these officiated matches, it's a point system. It's certain things that you can't do. And you have to know the technical aspects of, okay, if I get him on the ground and his back is straight on the ground, that's 3 points for me. If he gets up, that's 1 point. So just being a better athlete is not necessarily going to get you that win. And so, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the kids are learning now, but they just starting. And shout out to Coach Steve. He down with the Irvington Golden Knights, him, and also Coach Cal. Them guys, they doing a wonderful job. But yeah, man, I just really want the kids to be able to try to lock in a little bit more, if possible.
Yeah, man. Maybe, I mean, if they stay off these TikToks and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they, you know what, Joe, man, we, coming from where we grew up, we want so much more for our kids. You know what I mean? And we spoil them and we enable them, and it kind of take away from their growth a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the whole point. We want to get them out the hood. We want to get them into better school systems. And, unfortunately, it takes away from some things. But
a little bit of the edge. But
the edge.
Whereas though they may not have that edge, they would definitely be more advanced in some of the other areas, like the math, the speaking capability.
We would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they ain't even really teaching these kids how to write in cursive right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The math is different. It's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? I wish him well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
like I
said,
man.
I consider myself kind of like smart, but I'm seeing some of the stuff, and they only in second and first grade, bro. So like some of the stuff that they coming home with is like, well, no, my teacher didn't tell me to figure it out like that.
Yeah.
We supposed to do it this way. And I'm like, well, all right, then.
Yeah, you on your
know
own.
what I mean?
Yeah, word. Word up,
Man.
Word.
But so back to, not to get too sidetracked off of things. So you was at Felician and you made it to year 3 and you said you got into some things. Wow. And so when you came back home, obviously at this point in time, it's time to man up.
Absolutely.
Because you're a grown man at this point in time. You're not finishing school. I don't know if you had that mentality of I'm going to get back to it or not, but what was your mind state of what I got to do for work and things of that nature?
So at that time, you figure I left school in 2001. And basically I told my moms, like, yo, this is what it is. They said I owe this amount of money. I can't register for this class, whatever. And she was like, basically, nigga, you better get a job.
Yeah.
So I felt I was about to work at the airport. It's funny shit, 9/11. That was supposed to be my date, to start at the airport. I was walking out the door when the first plane hit that tower.
Wow.
To work at the airport. So I was walking out the door. My mother seen the shit on the news. She was like, I don't think you going to no airport right now.
Yeah.
And the world just froze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I stopped. I'm like, oh shit. Then I see the second plane hit. So fast forward, I made a phone call. They was like, yeah, shit shut down. So maybe 2 weeks later, they called everybody back in who they just hired. So I was working at the airport. And basically at that point, a couple years later, man, fast forward, my mother basically pushed me out the nest, man. You know what I mean? She was like, yo, listen.
You got to get up out of here.
Not even that. She found a love of her life, and she was about to leave.
Oh.
So not really her bumping me out the nest, but really leaving the nest to me as well. You see what I'm saying? So she was like, listen, I'm about to move, and you gonna be responsible for this rent.
Yeah.
I'll be able to help you out the first couple of months, but after that, you on your own.
Yeah. And so you was working at the airport at this time?
Working at the airport, man.
And so, like, how was you doing with your money, though? Like, as far as...
My rent was like $7-something a month. Like, I could get that rent paid every month. Back then, this was like 2001. Rent was like $7.15.
Okay.
I could get that bitch paid, but it might not be nothing in that fridge.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
he was bachelor, like a true essence of a bachelor.
The next month, okay, I got that rent paid, but that cell phone cut off. You see what I'm saying? So I got tired of juggling just that. I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that point, I had to figure out what I wanted to do in my life a little bit.
Yeah.
And I ended up taking this motherfucking civil service test.
Yeah.
And that was that. You know what I'm saying?
And so when you did that, I know like you obviously had friends, that probably was doing other things, kind of like being in the streets and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
And so were they outwardly saying things to you, or did you kind of like hear the whispers?
So, bruh, once again, I kind of like always been
Because before you say that, I'm gonna preface this by like, I saw you in action. Like, I know you ain't like no soft nigga or nothing like that. So I imagine that they wasn't really saying the shit to you.
So it was at a point where it was like, yo, these niggas ain't paying my bill.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I ain't know what else I wanted to do in life.
Yeah.
Like, once basketball was over, it was like, what else I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Back then, the only two jobs that I knew niggas was getting at least they had a little bit money, was probably PSC&G and Verizon.
Yeah.
And I ain't see myself climbing up
on
on
no
nobody's pole poles, you know what I mean? Or whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna do?
Exactly.
So I started working for, little companies or whatever. And I just took the test just to take it, bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I was working downtown Newark in this parking lot, man. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Right on motherfucking Halsey Street. Shout out to Central Parking, right? They normally got Africans working this shit.
Exactly.
But I'm there working this shit.
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing people I went to high school with walking past. They like, yo, Mike, what the fuck? Like, I thought you was in, like, all of that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But this shit is building, like, character in me or whatever.
Exactly.
But anyhow, it was a dude, man, he used to park his car in that parking lot, and a lot of shit used to go on in that parking lot. All type of drug transaction, all type of shit, whatever.
Okay.
This dude was like, he asked me, he was like, yo, what are you doing down here?
Yeah. It was somebody that you knew?
Somebody he parked this car. It used to be a soul food restaurant. I think it was Jay's or some shit. It was on like William Street.
Okay.
But it was a battery company. It was a company over there. All of their employees parked their cars in this parking lot. So I used to see this one particular guy every day. Park his shit, go to work. And he was like, yo, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So he saw the potential in you.
He seen something in me, you know what I mean, that other people I think seen in me, but I just was naive to it. You know what I mean? And it went to the extent to where he was like, yo, my wife a Newark cop, you know what I mean? That test coming out, I could get you the application. He bought the application, I filled it out. The rest was history.
Yeah.
Never thought about being a cop ever in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never was on my... I just took the test like, fuck it. And I passed it.
Yeah.
And I just, at that time, I was like, hold on, rent, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I was like, yo, fuck it. You know what I mean? So I never really... As far as my boys, I never really presented it to them like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this.
Yeah. It was just something like...
I think I might have mentioned to a few and they was like, yo, go for that shit. You know what I mean? And I just was like, I ain't really care about what people thought.
Yeah.
Of course, we all...
because at the end of the day, it's like, you're a man, you got to walk like...
At that point, I was 26 years old.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it was like, I done did the college thing. I seen that ain't work. I seen the gang shit come into the mix around them years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
99, 2000, 2001. You know what I mean? I was like, I know I wasn't gonna go that route. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what else I'm gonna do with myself? You know what I mean? And I just took the test, man, and that was that.
And so some of like our peers that may have been on the other end.
I had to distance myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite sure that part because my brother, you know, he had to kind of and essentially distance himself from me because I was fucking up.
Got you.
And, you know, it's like, this is my job. Like, I'm not trying to get trapped off in no shit. And I understood it. Like, you know what I mean? Well, initially, I probably didn't understand it. But as I got older and it's like, bro, I'm not giving him the pension that because he's retired now. He does what the fuck he wants to do.
As he should.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a care in the world. Like, he has his health benefits, his pension, all that stuff. And so, like, he had to distance himself from me while I'm out here running around, thinking I'm this, thinking I'm that, carrying this, doing that. And so, I respect that now. Back then, not so much. I was a little immature in my thinking. But I didn't want to ask you about that. What I did want to kind of figure out was, did you see some of them while they was out and about in their element and while you was like on patrol or maybe like in your, you know what I mean, career doing stuff?
So just to put it out there, you know what I mean, I was a cop for 15 years. I left as a detective on my own terms.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I didn't retire. I just felt that it was my time was
Time
up.
to go.
Time
Transition to something else.
So, nah, man. You know what? Because of the stereotype of the shit, it's like, it's funny because, you know, you get niggas be like, yo, niggas, cops was pussy, or whatever.
Yeah.
He was a pussy in high school. So
you heard Sheik Lutz. I hate cops because most of y'all was dicks in school or whatever the case may be.
So I was so far removed from those stereotypes,
part,
you know what I mean? Because I know I wasn't no pussy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I ain't worried about that. I knew I could fight. I ain't worried about that. So I didn't have, once again, I worked with some cops where I know I seen the Napoleon complex, so I know they wasn't this and they doing extra.
Projecting.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Shit.
I ain't really had them problems, you know what I mean? At all.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody out there could say, I did them dirty on the street level. It was always about respect, mutual respect. They knew what it was.
And that's what my brother always said. Like, he had relationships with people.
Absolutely,
and,
man.
you know, he knew people, and it was like, look, I'm out here. He did a lot of beat walking, too, up and down 16th Ave. He got a lot of awards and everything like that. But he always was like, to his people that he knew, it's like, bro, just give me this. Like, I'm out here right now.
They already
just
know
give me
what
my
it is.
respect.
They already
you know what I mean?
Some of, like, yo, bro, we used to get calls like, yo, you know, motherfuckers on the corner congregating. You know what I mean? Whether it was stopping frisk back then or whatever it was, you know what I mean? But I used to just go to dudes like, yo, bro, we getting calls. I ain't just fucking with you. Like, clearly the cause is here, you know what I mean? So some of them used to just, like, if I drove past and we gave a little head nod, they know what it was. Like, yo, let's keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, I used to push them off to the other ship. Yo, let me get.
Yo, I get off at 6:30,
man. Come on, I don't need this shit. You know what I mean? But it was like, yo, I never forget, man. I mean, once again, man, you just got to be a good person. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be in a situation. I never did nobody dirty, man, at all. You know what I mean? So it was like, if I was getting my ass busted out on them streets, I would hope somebody made a phone call like, yo, y'all got a cop getting his ass whooped, as opposed to they just turn the other cheek and I get killed out there. You know what I mean? So it was like, when I gave everybody respect, man, I did my job, and you know, it was a rough job, man. That shit one of the hardest jobs in the world, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's what's up.
As far as the therapy goes, from seeing decomposed bodies to kids dying, all type of shit, you know what I mean? People just want to understand it.
And that's some of the imagery.
I mean, I used to be a little nigga that said fuck the police all the time. Just cuz. NWA shit. It was just a cool thing to do, but I you know, salute to all my, you know, my law enforcement motherfuckers that's really
definitely
doing what they supposed to do.
I understand it because everybody is like, fuck the police till they need the police.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
You know, there are some cops out here in the world that's doing some other things. They're taking advantage and they're abusing power, and you know, it probably is still fuck them. But for the most part, we, you know, police are here to keep law and order. So, you know what I mean, the world is just not running rampant, you know what I mean, doing everything.
Absolutely.
So,
I
respect at the end of the day, if you're a cop and you're a man, you're a woman, I respect you. You just a person that's trying to get a paycheck. Some of them winning into it because they want to clean up society. You know what I mean?
Some people just want the paycheck and just want to go home.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not deal with all of this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. But it's good and bad in the world. It's good. Once again, it's teachers out here that's fucking students. You see what I'm saying? It's doctors out here that's molesting or touching on my.
So to your point, it's good and bad in every profession.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
like I truck drive, and it's probably some motherfuckers that's, you know what I mean, doing transporting bodies or doing this or doing that. So you're gonna have good and bad everywhere.
Absolutely. So I'm happy that, I wouldn't really judge too much.
Yeah.
As far as, that police shit. You know what I mean? Because I think everybody, they kind of knew I was a real nigga regardless of
like,
that.
And you always had the respect, and we bumped into each other a lot out there.
Mm-hmm.
But so while I was in the midst of, my outside era, you came to check me. And so was that like that in the back of your mind, like, I hope nothing don't go on out here while I'm here or something like that? Because it was genuine love. Like, when it's not like we was doing no nefarious shit or whatever. Like I probably had went to the studio, or you probably had went to the studio, and you was like, yo, look, Joe, I got this, and yo, bro, I got this beat, I want you to jump on, Mike. And it was kind of like a real genuine love. And so, I just kind of like want to know what your mind state might have been like coming down to the T's to come holler at me.
At that point, it was like, yo, I'm a real nigga.
Yeah,
you feel me? And I just hope, you can't be a real nigga your whole life and just, you don't want the other people to flip on you to be like, yo, this nigga a cop now, I ain't fucking with him. Like, what, nigga? Like, come on, son. Like, take that cop shit out of it. Like, I'm still a person at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that was very important to me, like, during my early years of being in law enforcement, where I might have had to fall back from certain things because it could put me in compromising positions.
Exactly.
But I still got love for you. You know what I mean? Like, I still know you as a person. Like, we still could connect. And I became a vice for a lot of people too. You know what I mean? So, I think it was like the yin and the yang. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't really. I never wanted to be that nigga to be like ain't nobody could be like, yo, that nigga was a pussy, now he a cop. Like, nah, nigga, you already know this shit.
I kind of like also look at it as from a standpoint of you looking at my judge of character and saying like, yo, Joe, like, he doing what he doing, but he not gonna bring no bullshit to me.
That part too.
And I kind of, you know what I mean? That's the kind of way that I like to be. I
wasn't really worried about nobody bringing no bullshit to me because I felt like just on the strength, everybody was gonna be on their best behavior anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just want the shit to be genuine. You know what I mean? But I knew coming up, it could probably make some people uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't want that. All them codes, the street shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you cool with a cop? Oh, this nigga's all of that shit. You know what I mean?
So, like, I definitely never had none of my friends, none of my homeboys, like, they all knew. Like, I'm like, yo, this is my man I went to school with. They a lot of them knew you. And it was like, all right, well, my bro about to come through here and we about to hang out for a few or, drink a couple of beers. And at that time you wasn't smoking the weed, but you had your cigarellos.
Was that Al Capone.
Yeah, your Al Capones. Word. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Al Capone. I know I was about to smoke one now. There ain't no left. You know what I mean? Shit right here.
Yeah. That's the little smack joint, because they had the little joint with them for a while too. But it was all love, man. You know what I mean? I never really had that them type of friends because I felt like the people that I was with, they was all reasonable people outside. Like, it wasn't like we was just, like I said, like, we was kind of all raised with morals. We wasn't just out here doing anything. Like, we saw a chance to get to a bag and we was trying to get that bag, but we wasn't out here doing the bullshit. So,
and that's a big difference, man, in the community. You know what I mean?
1000%. So, like, even like when you have like the old lady who may be trying to take her trash to the what's in her head, give me that, Miss such and such, and I'll take that for you. So we wasn't like, oh,
we had that. You know what I mean? We was on the bus coming home from high school, old late, come on, you gotta get your seat up. You know
Exactly,
what I mean? You have respect. It wasn't no cursing in front of the grandmas and all that crazy shit.
So that's how I kind of like to carry myself, even when I was out there. And I wasn't the toughest dude. I wasn't, the most wildest dude or nothing like that. But I always looked at myself in like a position of leadership. Like people, they gravitated me. They wanted to know what I thought about certain situations. And, that's just the way I kept it. But, to move on from there, like you said, you left on your own accord. Was that a hard decision? And what went into that to make you just be like, man, fuck that, I ain't doing this no more?
The world, bro.
Yeah.
The world, the Black Lives Matter shit.
Yeah.
I remember it was certain movies that I was watching during them times, the Central Park 5 shit.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of shit with law enforcement where it was like, yo, do I want to be a part of this shit no more? You know what I mean? And it's like, as a former law enforcement officer, it was like, you couldn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, it was just a lot of it was only I put it to you like this, bro. Like, it was only so many times somebody was going to threaten to spit on me.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Yeah, you ain't doing that. Yeah.
We ain't doing that. I'm going to be fired.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm going to be on the news like, yo, this nigga done strangled somebody because they spit on him and I'm looking like the bad guy.
Exactly.
Like, come on, son. Like, people don't even threaten to spit on an average citizen, like, because you're going to get shot.
Exactly.
But you think because I got this uniform on, you going to at least say that to me and I ain't going to have no type of emotion
reaction or nothing to it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I had self-control, but it was, and during that was during COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, you know what? I took a leap of faith, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I left with honors and prestige or whatever. Nobody could say no fuck shit about me. I just did it on my own terms. I felt like 15 years was enough.
Okay.
I ain't got to do this whole 25. You know what I mean? Do something else. And
that's the blessing of it, though, man. To be able to take your own career path and your own life choices into your own hands and to have a vision and be able to execute, man, that's commendable, man.
Even after I left, bro, like, you know what I mean? People passed away, like, within 2 or 3 years of retirement.
Yeah.
From the stress of the shit, you know what I mean? It's like politics, bro, it's a whole nother game, brother, man.
Yeah.
Whole dirty game.
Dirty game,
bro. Like, the law enforcement, the brotherhood wasn't the brotherhood that I thought it was. Yeah, it's brotherhood when motherfucker die. Going to law enforcement funeral, one of the worst things you could go through.
Yeah.
Doves and all of the people, all the support. It's just sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a dirty game, man. Dirty game, man. So I did what I did, man. You know?
Yeah.
Word.
But that was dope, though, man. To be able to transition and then find a new career is awesome. Do you still have connections with some of your friends, or you just left that whole, like,
I mean, I know who I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need nobody for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They doing their own thing. I wish them well. I pray for them every day.
Yeah.
That, they don't get killed in the line of duty, and they don't have to kill nobody in the line of duty.
Exactly. Because that's another part of it, too.
That's a whole, I've seen a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, I salute the good ones out there. The bad ones, well, they'll see their demise.
They'll get theirs in due time. You know what I mean? There's only so long you can hide who you are, pretend to be this, or, exact your own little shit on people. But, I like the look, and I hope I don't come across as naive, but I always like to look to the good in people, because I feel as though, like, people really want to do better. It's just sometimes people be opportunists, and they, might take advantage of a certain opportunity. But I like to believe that humanity, like, it is some good out here amongst in the world and shit like that.
And it's once again, it was a fucked up job, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can admit now, people think it was a quota. They used to say, "Oh yeah, I got a quota." You know what I mean?
So you locking motherfuckers up and shit.
Whether it's locking people up, giving tickets, whatever. It wasn't a quota. It was a standard.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And my department, they used to motherfucking, like, basically they'll put on a board, like this person wrote 80 tickets, 60 tickets, and then they got a top and a bottom. So you don't want to be on that bottom part.
Exactly.
You only wrote 3 tickets for the whole fucking month.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, what was you doing?
What were you doing?
Yeah.
So you got to show
that you
what I mean?
working.
Yeah, you got to show
and
that
that's
you
what
work.
any industry.
That's with anything but. In law enforcement, you're affecting people's pockets.
Exactly.
And whether you lock somebody up, you could lock somebody up because he had a warrant and now he got all the money on it. He can't pay this rent. His baby mama wild. You know what I mean? It's just so much to it.
Yeah.
You taking. They feel like you just the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
For some shit that they did. You know what
and
I mean?
that's what I was about to say, because it's the accountability aspect of it. And so when I was younger and I was doing little shit, whether I had, stupidly 3 bricks in my pocket, or if I had the hammer on me and I got caught, I was like, man, why you fucking with me and this, that, and the third? But like at the end of the day, like, damn, where I'm living at now, do I want a motherfucker running around with 3 bricks in his pocket, and do I want the motherfucker to be having a hammer? It's like, if I can't provide another way for you to eat, I can't tell you what to do, although I feel like you probably shouldn't be doing that. But at the end of the day, if you're doing it, it's the opportunity that somebody's gonna catch you. They just doing their job. That's the way I look at it now.
Bruh, like, I'm telling you, I done drove past blocks and corners and told motherfuckers, yo, get off the corner, man.
Yeah.
And then an hour later, that shit shot up, and I'm coming right back to the scene, and motherfuckers shot up. And it's like, I want to be like, nigga, I told you so.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I've been in all type of, I've been in a situation where I seen a dude right on Springfield Avenue, right in front of the bus terminal. This motherfucker got shot 12 times, bro. And dropped right on the dotted line, like the dotted line in the middle of the street.
In the intersection.
In the intersection.
Oh.
And I'll never forget, my sergeant was with me. I responded to the scene. This motherfucker laid out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My sergeant was like, yo, who did it? You got to tell us who did it. He was like, I ain't telling y'all shit. I ain't telling you shit. Call an ambulance.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even know if he knew how many times he got, clearly he ain't know how many times he got hit. We knew after the fact.
Yeah.
But he was just adamant, like, I guess his will.
I'm not working with the police.
I'm not working with the police. I know I'm going to survive this shit.
Yeah.
And whatever. I don't know how he knew it, because he did get hit up. But he did survive.
He survived that thing?
He survived it.
Yeah.
And guess what? He ended up killing a motherfucker who killed him later on.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So I've seen it, and I knew his whole family.
Yeah.
Knew his whole family. He ended up killing a motherfucker who shot him. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of.
And it's kind of like a cycle, like, of, stuff that's going on now. And it's like, when you do something to somebody's gonna hold that grudge, and it's kind of like a never-ending cycle. So I don't really know how to fix it or address it, but I always look at our community like, although I contributed to the bullshit that's going on now by maybe giving a lady this or giving a lady that, and maybe she wasn't there for her child, and maybe those are the children now that's up now doing shit. And like, I do have compassion, but like, I always look at our community like, I just want us to be able to do better. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It takes a community, man. It takes a lot, man. Like I said, even as a cop, man, I used to try to, I seen a couple young dudes that I felt like had a future that I would try to help out.
Mentor or whatever the case may be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I tell them, yo, you need sneakers for basketball, I got you. You need condoms, this, you know what I mean? But it was like, after a while, it was like I couldn't be in a household with them. I didn't know what they had going on. You couldn't watch them 24/7.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the point.
And then after you try to, pour into them, you see them still getting into the bullshit, or some of them got killed, or so it was a hard job, as far as you couldn't save them, couldn't save everybody.
Can't save everybody.
But if you just saved one.
Yeah, and that's what they say. Like, you get that gratitude in being able to reach out to that one and save that one.
And over the years, real talk, I think I did receive a lot of gratitude from a lot of people that, reminded me of something that I may have done. For them, or, you know what I mean?
Influence somebody or motivated somebody, try to pay it forward. Because
once again, even as a cop, I mean, before that, I did a little coaching, You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a couple of dudes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I coached during their younger years. They adults now, you know what I mean? That they'd be like, yo, you know, I was the difference in their life.
You was able to pay that forward, and that's what I was about to say. Even going back to the story with you in the parking lot downtown, how the dude didn't know you from a can of paint, but he brought you an application,
Because he
and
seen something in me.
that changed your life.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or indifferent, that changed your life. It made you able to support yourself in a way to where as though, you know what I mean, it gave you a profession.
The funny thing about that story is my brother was a cop at that time. And my brother used to be like, yo, nigga, you need to take that test.
Yeah, in New Jersey?
Nah, he was in Atlanta.
He was in Atlanta, okay.
He was a cop probably 5-6 years at that time.
Okay.
And he used to tell me I need to take that test, and I was like, I don't want to be no fucking
It's funny
cop.
because we won't listen to the people that's
won't-
right there directly in front of us.
It took for a stranger to be like, yo, what are you doing here? I see so much more potential in you than what the... And for me to be like, yo, you know what?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
My own flesh and blood
Yeah.
was like, yo, you should do this. And I was like, nah.
Yeah.
And then I
Hey,
ended up
yo.
doing it.
I think it's something with the human element because, you know, my lady, my wife, she used to always tell me about, I wouldn't even say she used to tell me, but she used to always be on smoothies back in the day. And I used to be like, oh, you drinking that what's the name juice and that rabbit stuff and this, that, and the third. And, you know, I was vegan for a point in time. And I don't know if it was like me. Obviously, it was me trying to do better and eat better, change my diet. But I also used to look at in some of the fitness influencers and things of that nature. And some of that led into it. And she just was like, well, you gonna listen to this person. You don't even know this person. And I was telling you this, you know, 15 years ago. And you laughed at me about that. And I think it's something to the human element to where as though sometimes it's easier to receive a message from someone that you may not know from the outside. But yeah, that's
weird.
Deep. Yeah, that's real deep. That's real deep.
Word up.
Yeah. But I think we definitely touched a wide range of topics. Is there anything that you feel like I may have not gotten to that you was like, damn, Joe, you ain't bring this up, or, you know what I mean? I thought you would have spoke about this. Is there something that, you know what I mean, you may want to get off your chest to anybody?
Bruh, like, yo, listen, man, at the end of the day, I love good energy.
Yeah.
You feel me? I love where we come from. I love what we become.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to everybody that passed away before us.
Exactly.
We still here, we grinding, and we fathers, man.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, for me, man, I don't give a fuck what my tombstone say. It better say beloved father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to make a difference in their lives. You know what I mean? And I got 2 sons just like you do. So that's all it's about for me, man. My kids, trying to be a good person, man, good energy. And fuck all that other shit. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for none of the other bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I went through, you know, some rough times these last couple of years, but that shit ain't about nothing.
And so, like, that stuff is, like you said, while we were coming up, like, that stuff shaped us into the persons that we are now. And some of these things that you're going through and I'm going through and everybody else is going through, these are the things that are going to shape us to the person that we're going to be tomorrow.
Yo, listen, man, we got to stay prayed up. You feel me? Like, I say a prayer every motherfucking day at the same time on a dot.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I'm just grateful
Yep.
for every day that I get going forward. You know what I mean? Because none of this shit ain't promised.
It's not, man.
You know what I mean? And we came a long way. We about to be 45, bro.
Yeah.
me?
Shit,
Like,
I got another 2 weeks. I'm 45
45
years old
bro.
out here,
You
man.
figure we knew each other since 8-9 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
wow.
what is born?
So, we've been knowing each other for almost just as long as we've been alive. It's like,
Word is
essentially.
born. You see what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So that's a blessing upon blessings already, man. So good energy, man. I just, you know, I try not to do nobody. I felt like I never did nobody dirty, but I just, you know, see people in the street, man. I salute them. You know what I mean? You see me in the street, see me at the bar, buy a nigga a drink. You know what I'm talking about? Because I come with good energy, man. I don't want no bullshit.
Exactly.
I'm not no hater. You know what I mean? I just want to live this life, man. Take care of these kids.
And that's the thing too. To touch on that hater aspect, is like it's enough for everybody. Like we all have the same 24, and you know this platform was started to put the light on people other than ourselves. It's a lot of people in Jersey and beyond that's doing some things. You're a father. You definitely laid the blueprint, you know, even with your first son about, you know, going to go get him. And, you know, you are the ideal man. Like you kind of like showing how it's to be done, because sometimes a lot of people leave with excuses. Oh, my kid's mother this and she's that. Well, go get your kid. It's always that option. You know what I mean? We always kind of put up the excuses as opposed to the plan. A man is going to be a person who has a plan, sees that out and execute. And I definitely wanted to come through and salute you, because as long as I've known you, bro, you've been executing,
solid.
man. You know what I
solid.
mean?
I
No
appreciate
doubt,
you,
man. I
You
really
know what
appreciate you.
Word up, man. You know, I love you, Joe.
Love you too, bro.
Born,
You know what I
man.
mean?
I like who you become. You know what I mean? Just growth.
Absolutely,
Elevation. And you know, we at a milestone. We about to be 45.
Yeah,
you feel me?
yeah.
And let's get to 50.
Yeah, let's get to 50 and
let's
beyond.
And beyond.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
mean?
Because a lot of niggas we grew up with, man, they come on, man.
Yeah, they not here.
20.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They not here. So
20, 25, some in the
we salute
teens.
them. We think about them, and we bless their memory and everything else, bro.
Absolutely. And before we sign out, you had these here in the background, and I just do want to say a little something about these, or have you speak to these. So this, when I came home in 2011, I recorded Fresh Out the Box mixtape, and you was actually on.
Absolutely.
What track is it? Circle Tight.
Circle Tight.
Circle Tight. What number is it?
You gave me an opportunity.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Number 6.
Number 6. Word.
Yeah. It say Tighten Up featuring Mike Gizzle, but it should have been Circle Tight.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this was like a real passion project, because I had done other stuff prior to this. But this was like me taking the opportunity to give y'all like some of that pent up.
That was fresh out the box.
Yeah, fresh. Like the CD is actually like, it really was fresh out the box. And so like this was dope. I really appreciate you for joining me on this one. And then this one, our homeboy Paparazzi. You know, shout out to Pop. You know what I mean? Can you tell me something about this? Because I didn't know that he had this or even put this out.
So Pop, you know, me and Pop, man, that's my brother, man.
Yeah.
We born on the same day, March 12th and shit. Know him since fucking 5th grade.
Okay.
And you know, he put out a little mixtape, and he gave me the opportunity. I didn't know he was putting a song that we did
on it.
You know what I mean? I would have spit harder, or you know what I mean? Like this nigga, I ain't even know type shit, but whatever. You know what I mean? But he gave me the opportunity to get on there for people to hear my voice.
And Pop was doing his own beats, so was this a collection of his own tracks on this as well? Oh man.
And a few other, you know, industry beats or whatever. But
exactly.
he gave me
so
that.
he showcased all of it from. Yeah, that's dope, man. So I haven't been rapping as much lately. We still got a group chat with some of the grade school and grammar school cats, and everybody still be spitting. Like I try to do a verse here and there, but I'm not really as focused on that, because I'm trying to get into this video and videography, cinematography aspect. But y'all guys motivate me, man, because y'all still spitting strong, just like how we was, you know what I mean?
We just popping shit, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It ain't, we just got a little group chat and just entertain motherfuckers.
I
think,
you
know what I mean?
I don't know. I think we gonna have to do a link
track.
up. We got to do a track, and hopefully I could get y'all the behind the scenes of that. You know, we could bring it and, you know, put it everywhere or whatever, and let y'all see the process of writing, selecting beats and things of that nature. But this has been fun, man. I really do appreciate it.
Salute, yo. Rest in peace to the fallen soldiers. Salute to the Hooterville, Newark, New Jersey, man.
Absolutely.
Word. Peace.
Peace.